Now, I know full well that there is nothing more boring than listening to some geezer drone on and on about his health problems. Alas, I must inflict a bit more of that on you here, because a certain amount of it can be blamed squarely on the FBI, and will explain why I hate them so very thoroughly. I mentioned in the last article that they sent their dirty trick squad over to poison me. How did I know this, you may ask? Simple. They were seen. It never occurred to them that a Marxist-Leninist, which I was at the time, living in a primarily rich neighborhood, would get along so well with his neighbors. But I did. And when my skin troubles began, my neighbor across the street, a prominent rich Muslim back in the days when Islam was less odious, told me that he had seen a squeaky clean telephone company pull up to my house while I was at work. Two squeaky clean repairmen got out with their squeaky clean uniforms and carefully ironed pants with creases. This is an FBI trademark. They entered my house and emerged about a half hour later. They sprayed something akin to the infamous Agent Orange in a pair of work gloves I always used outdoors, and thus began years of hellish nightmare. Skin swelled, burned off a layer at a time, and itched beyond belief. It was rather like sticking my hands in a jar of hungry mosquitoes 24/7 for 2 years. I saw more doctors than I can count or remember. Most were puzzled. Some had a look of outright fear. They knew what the real deal was. But one, finally, had the courage to say, "Someone's been screwing with you," and prescribed heavy doses of a steroid. It worked, but at a cost. The cure was not instantaneous by any means, and I had to be on it for the next decade, and this resulted in a vasculus necrosis, which in layman's terms means that my bones were rotting from the inside out. My street action days were over, but the fiery spirit remained. That which does not kill me only makes me stronger. I never liked keyboard commandos, but if that's all I could do, then by damn, that's what I do. Which, as accounted in the previous article, is what led to the formation of the APNP. We eschewed armbands since they usually evoke a carefully programmed response from the masses. Nazi, 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 or that guy looks like something out of the 1930s. Instead, we went with the flag badge shown here. It loosely resembles one worn by Hitler, but the masses don't know that. Members were required to wear black suits. We could, therefore, walk around in public without really drawing any notice or disapproving glances, or outright attacks. Our youth wing wore blue trousers, or skirts for girls, white shirts, and red scarves. It looked like this. It's pretty communisty, but we just couldn't pass up the red, white, and blue American look. Considering that we had just over 100 members scattered around, we actually did pretty well. We had contacts around the world and powerful enemies. 2 indicators that you were doing something right. Perhaps the most important thing that we did was defining what modern nationalism actually is and what it wanted to accomplish in the modern day. We could back up our rather radical approach with the bedrock of original nationalist philosophy from both LaRouche and Washington. Even the general's descendant, aspiring Congresswoman Julianne Washington, was nice to us. Those radical and more modern policies included being open to any ethnic American of any race or religion who agreed with us. Consequently, we had people from many different walks of life, and one of our best and most loyal officers was a proud black gentleman whom I still keep in touch with. Such radical policies horrified the closet Nazis and Puritans. One group in New York and a prominent individual in Massachusetts started raving against us. And at that point, I quit, saying that the barrage of insult from our enemies was of no importance, but getting that from those who were supposed to be our friends and allies was more than I wanted to deal with. I was effectively burnt out. Others tried to carry on. The Second National Committee had no more luck than I had in getting a proper meeting together. This affected, the membership faded away, and that was the quiet end of the APNP. Or was it? We live in an age where refugees swarm over America, and people are getting damned sick of the libtard way of running things. If it looks like a rich Republicrat, don't vote for it. So who knows? If there are any younger and fitter chaps out there with a serious balls to get out there in the streets and make it a reality, in spite of the dangers, the APNP may see a revival. Any number of 10 leaders have come and gone. It will take someone with real personal courage and intelligence to make it work. We shall see. We shall see.